Hey, everybody. How's it going? Thanks for joining us here on Christmas Clatter in this live recording of an episode of the Christmas Clatter, which I just said. For you that do podcasts, you'll understand. You pay more attention to what you say and how many times you say it over and over again, and it's just now it's a terrible habit that I catch myself doing. So, but hi everybody that's in the chat. I saw Chris and Mikey, Dan, hello, Holly, thanks for being here, and Ben, Dwayne, Mikey, Randy, Santa Dad, thanks for being here. Charles is in the chat. He's also in the green room. We'll talk more about him later. Everybody, I'll say this again when I start recording the podcast part, but since you're live in the chat, I'll give you another heads up. If you would like, grab a pencil, a paper, or something, so you can draw with us. Charlie's going to do a live drawing. I'm going to draw too. You won't see mine. I'll show you when it's over. And then if whatever you draw, if you want to share it with me on social medias, and we'd love to see them. And you tag me and Charlie in them. And I don't care. Don't say you don't know how to draw or you're not good at it. Nobody cares. It's just for fun. We're just here for fun. So yeah, no, you still over in the Far East? Or are you back in Ireland yet? So, but thanks for enjoying the intro music. Before I get started, speaking of my intro music, at one time I was going to change it because it was a placeholder music when I started the podcast, and I mentioned it to a few people, and the looks on their faces and the words that they said was indicated to me that would not be a great idea. So I do really, really like it. So that's what I'm talking about. The beach, on the beach. I envy you. So all right, yes, hit that like button. That really does help. So I want to get a quick drink, and we'll start the podcast proper for those in the chat that may be new or watching live. This is live recording. I kind of start again after I pause and get a drink. And then once I end the podcast, stay where you're at. We'll have a little bit more time here on YouTube and the chat and things. So, hey, Arnie, Doug, thanks for being here as well. So let's get started. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Christmas Clatter. We are the second week into October. Holy cow. Man. I feel like I'm behind this Christmas. It's like, what, 70-ish days to Christmas? I should know that off the top of my head, but I don't. Let me look here. 75 days till Christmas. And I feel like I'm behind. I hope you don't feel like that. I don't think we're behind. We did start decorating our house some and have a few things up. Mostly thanks to my lovely wife, Holly. She's also been helping my mom set up her house. Too. Mom puts up more than us, so she needs to, and she needs the help. And she's short and can't reach things, but I don't know. Is anybody else out there feeling behind this Christmas already? I don't know what it is. I'm not. It's 75 days. It's not even Halloween yet, but I feel behind. And maybe that's just because I'm just looking ahead. Maybe I just need to enjoy the moment a little bit more and quit looking at the calendars and the numbers and stuff. That's probably what it is. But everybody, the Christmas puzzle exchange, the sign up is live. Now there's a link in the description, the show notes. That'll take you to a Google form that you just fill out, and I'll get all that and shuffled around. And then I think we're going to close signups on the 20th of October, and then I'll email everybody on the 22nd of October, and then I would like for the puzzles to be mailed out by November 1st. That way there's plenty of time to get there before Christmas and things. And so if you want to be a part of that, you'll be sending a new puzzle minimum of 500 pieces. Don't do like a 300 or 100 piece puzzle. Minimum 500 pieces, or you can go as far as you want. If you want to get someone a 100,000 piece puzzle, by all means, knock yourself out. But usually people just stick with 500 or 1,000. It has to be Christmas or winter themed, and you'll be sending it to somebody across America, and put a little nice card in there for them and wish them a Merry Christmas. And it's a great way to spread the love of putting a puzzle together, and that relaxing, stress relieving hobby of puzzling is it's wonderful any time of the year, but especially around the holidays. Okay, I'm already ready to fire up some puzzles. We usually hit them, pretty hard and strong around the holidays, and it usually goes into about February or so, and then we put them away because you can actually get back outside, and then we just kind of cool off on them. But we have plenty here to work on, and I can't wait to get back into it and enjoy. Usually, I like to have a big bowl of peanut M&Ms close to me. It helps me think and find puzzle pieces. At least that's my excuse for having them. And the other thing I really enjoy for puzzling is I think it's Blue Diamond almonds. It has a Korean barbecue flavor almond that is just addictively good. It's like the right amount of spice to it. And so I don't know why I went into my puzzling snacks. Just went on a tangent there. But go ahead and check out the Puzzle Exchange, and all the information will be there on the forum as well. And you feel free to reach out to me. We've always had such a great participation in that, and everybody's been really good about getting their puzzles out and not leaving anybody feeling left out or anything like that. Before we go on, I do need to mention our sponsor of Just the Recipe. And if you guys have ever I'll have to punt on that. For some reason, that's not working. But anyway, I'll go ahead and talk about Just the Recipe. It's an app, website. You find a recipe online. It's just cluttered with the blog post, the ads, the whatever. And it's like, just give me the ingredients and the directions, please. And that's what Just the Recipe does. You take that URL from that recipe you found online, and you copy it and paste it into Just the Recipe, and all that pops up is a clean version of the ingredients in the recipe. There is a free version available to you guys, but there's limitations with the premium version of it, the paid for version. You can get unlimited recipes. You can also add ingredients. If there's something that you need to add bacon to, then you can put bacon in there. And then you can also adjust the amounts. So if it has, not enough butter, which most things don't have enough butter, you can bump that up. And then you can also scale up the recipe as well. It makes it a great way to share recipes with your friends. And they also do conversions on the premium subscription. So all kinds of cool things there. The premium subscription is $19.99, basically $20 for a whole year, which is a great buy. But if you use the code ChristmasClatter23, then you'll get 30% off that $19.99 for a full annual plan. And with so many people wanting to, that amp up their baking and cooking this holiday season, add Just the Recipe as a tool to use to make life a little simpler and a little easier. It also helps with shopping lists and that kind of thing. So, but Just the Recipe. They are wonderful people, and I've had a lot of fun working with them over there. JustTheRecipe.com, promo code ChristmasClatter23 for 30% off the annual plan. All right. Today we're having a long-time listener, first-time caller, so to speak. Charlie. I keep wanting to call him Charles. I've known him as Charles from when I first met him. But I think I can get to Charlie. I can get to Charlie. So might have to call him Mr. Sir, something like that. He's an artist. He reached out to me probably like the third episode of Christmas Clatter. I used to do this bit called The Most Wonderful Talent of the Month. And I would encourage people to like sing a song or tell a joke or something. I even had a theme song. I took the most wonderful time of the year. I wrote a little parody verse and a guy sung it for me, about the most wonderful talent of the month. I should have pulled that up to play. And he sent me this picture. Charlie sent me this picture for his submission to the most wonderful talent of the month of the different. I'm going to cover my face for a second so you guys can see it good. Of the leg lamps for Halloween. And he's made stickers and stuff out of this. And I just thought they were so cool. Such a great take on the leg lamps and things. And I saw Candido jumped in the chat here. Welcome, sir. And he also had a great take on the Jingle Bells, like the Ninja Turtles, and sent me some stickers which were super cool. And so this kind of sparked me and Charlie messaging on Instagram every once in a while. A lot of times about what available Advent calendars up and out, and the different Christmas things. And then he started Closer to Xmas podcast, where he talks everything Christmas. He also does live drawings on Twitch and things. And so we're going to bring him on. He's also going to do a live drawing for us. But here's the thing, guys. If you're listening to this on the podcast or you're listening right now on YouTube, go grab something to draw with. I don't care if it's pen, paper, crayon, marker, iPad. Go grab something to draw with. We're all going to draw together, and you draw whatever you feel like. Just as long as it's Christmas themed. Draw a Christmas tree, a movie character, whatever. It doesn't matter to me. Draw something Christmas and share it with us on social medias. Tag us in it. In your post or send it. If you don't want to share it yourself, send it to me through direct message at Christmas Clatter, pretty much anywhere, or email it to me at todd@christmasclatter.com so we can share it. We'd love to see them. And I'm going to draw too. You won't see me draw live. Nobody wants to see that. I am not a great artist by any means. Yeah, but for those here in the live stream, once the episode is over, then I'll show you what I drew. What I drew, what I have drawn. So, yeah, a creative clatter. This is right up your alley, Candido. Absolutely, sir. So, so without any further ado, let's welcome in Charlie Ague. Hey, Charlie, thanks for joining us here on Christmas Clatter.
Hey, Todd, it's great to see you.
Yeah,
it's great to finally be here.
Yeah, it is. It's like we did for a little inside the Christmas Clatter. We did a test run of the tech on Tuesday, and it's like we had messaged for so many years on Instagram. It was the first time we actually got in front of each other on video and actually chatted. So
yep,
it's kind of like, well, what have we been doing? So, but.
Yeah. I think I could cure your Charlie Charles thing. Just think of Charlie Brown. Christmas time, Charlie Brown. We'll go.
Yeah.
But I go Charlie or Charles. I'm fine with anything.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I'm kind of one of those people it's like whatever the first name is I hear is the one I stick with.
That's even the one that sticks.
Even if it's wrong, it's like, so.
They just have to forever be known as that.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like the first thing you see is the original, and then if you see something that's similar, it's the ripoff. It's like
never is good.
Yeah, it's like everybody thinks Namor the Submariner is a ripoff of Aquaman. It's like no, he was around first. So, but before we have you start drawing, let's just talk a little bit. You're a big Christmas lover, of course.
Oh
Is that
yeah.
something that you've carried on since you was a kid, or something you've established later in life?
I mean, I'm gonna have to say I've always been a Christmas lover. You know, even when I lived on my own, I would still go all out, decorate the house. You know, as an 18-year-old, when you move out of the house, you think you're gonna have like the bachelor. I still decorated for Christmas like I was a family man. You know,
Uh-huh.
it's just something I couldn't not do it. You know, I'd come home from work after a long day at work, and I would just lay down on the floor by the Christmas tree, just looking at it, Christmas music on, QVC, anything like that. Just a Christmas atmosphere. It's just, always been something I've enjoyed.
Oh yeah, I get that, because when my first Christmas out of the house, it was like I was bummed. It was kind of like almost slightly depressed because it was like Christmas time, but it didn't feel like Christmas. And I went to my mom's
Yeah.
house, and it was like cookies being made, and it was like the Hallmark Channel came to life basically. And I'm like, why can't I get this? And then when I got home and walked into the house, and it was kind of, I had some Christmas decorations up, and it was
Hmm.
kind of just blah. And it just hit me. It's like, you got to make it happen, you know? And so it's like, I just started doing more and more and more. And it's like, that's how you get it, you know?
Yep.
So it's a lot of work, but it's well worth it. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
yeah. So let's touch on your art. You're an incredible artist. I put some of the drawings up on the thumbnail and showed the leg lamps. Is that something you just was always a kid doodling? And
Yeah, that would always be one of the Christmas presents I would get, to a sketchbook every year at Christmas.
uh-huh,
That would always, that there was one of them in there, and I'd have it filled up in no time. And
uh-huh,
I mean, it's just something I've always done. I went to school for art just for 2 years for college. I got a degree in illustration and commercial art, but unfortunately, don't do anything with it as a full-time job or anything like that. But
yeah,
it's just something I've never stopped doing.
yeah, yeah. That's pretty good. Um, who's some of your favorite artists? That are you a big comic book artist fan?
I mean, I unfortunately I'm not. A lot of the comics that I liked in high school and in my early years were like Bone and like the more cartoony looking ones. I was never
Hmm.
really into the superhero comics. I enjoyed the movies, like Batman is an awesome movie. I
Yeah,
enjoyed that movie, but as far as comic books go, I never got into the superhero comic books. I mean, I was always more the cartoony style.
yeah, I get that. Gary Larson was always one of my favorite from the Far Side.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
I always liked his art for some reason.
yeah.
I don't know what it is about it. It's just, I think it just matched what he was doing so well.
Right. I mean, you look at it, it just looks funny. Like
Yeah,
it's a comic.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, what's some of your favorite artists that you really enjoy?
I mean, I was really big into pop art in school. That was some of my, so obviously your Andy Warhol,
Uh-huh.
like that type of stuff. I always enjoyed that. Just more cartoony looking than
Hmm.
some of your Renaissance stuff, which I'm fine with all of that. I enjoy it all, but anything cartoony or a little off the wall is
Yeah.
what I enjoy.
Oh yeah. I get that. I get that because realism is great and takes a lot of detail, but it's like I can look at it
Yep.
in real life,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
But you were saying, when we were talking on here and I was talking about drawing, you was like, you said something about people that say they can't draw sometimes create some of the best stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Like anyone that says they can't draw, everyone can pick up a pencil. I don't even care if it looks like a stick figure. Like sometimes, like I mean, if you look at some of my art, it's a little more grittier and like I don't want to say dirtier, but like I'm not a fan of clean lines. And when someone says they can't draw, that's the type of drawing you get, and
Hmm.
that's what I enjoy. Like that's the type. When I'm looking at that, someone will say, it doesn't look like anything good to me. I like it, and especially if they're like, if they hate it, like as an artist, you usually end up not caring for your stuff as much because you're the one doing it, and it's like you're looking at something for a long time and you're like, all right, I'm done with this. But
Yeah.
other people enjoy it, and I'm the same way with other people's work. I see
Yeah.
something that someone else did, and I like it right away. They might not, but I enjoy it.
Yeah. That is a fact of life because my wife's a wonderful creator and painter, and she'll do something. She's like, it's just this. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't see
Yep.
it at all. But then I do some woodworking and stuff, and I got some tables and some shelves and stuff upstairs that we use. And every time I walk by it, I see this like little 2 millimeter gap to where the joint wasn't just exactly
Yep.
flush. And I'm like, gosh, dang it, if I could do that again and get it just perfect, you know. But
Yep. You're always your worst enemy with that kind of stuff, you
yeah,
know.
that's
Very critical of your own
yeah.
work for sure.
And I'd say something, she's like, what are you even talking about? You know. So,
Yeah.
but okay, let's go ahead, guys. Hopefully you have something to draw with, and we'll go ahead and go ahead and start and let Charlie do his drawing. And I don't know if you want to tell us what you're drawing. It doesn't matter if you just want us to see it at the end, or
Well, I think, like I said, I'm going to draw a character from a Rankin Bass movie. One of the little lesser known ones, but I tend to draw stuff like kind of quick. Like I'll do like a sketch. Like when I was doing my live drawings, I'd have the complete piece done within a half hour. And I don't know. So I kind of just like do a sketch layers and just do everything on top of it and just start building it up from there. But yeah, if you're a fan of Rankin Bass, then the character I'm going to work on, it's Albert from 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, one of the little mice people.
okay.
I think I'm going to sketch him because you don't really see too much stuff about those, and
No.
that's special. When I was growing up, I always enjoyed that one. The people look different from any of the other Rankin Bass people. They had like the buck teeth, you know, like
Yeah.
I enjoyed those a lot when I was younger.
Yeah, that's one that doesn't get as much love, but it's probably, other than Rudolph and Frosty, was probably the one I've seen the most. You know,
Right? I like that one, and the Santa in that one's like not like any of the other Santas. You know, he's actually like a little tiny elf.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's and it's not, you know, it follows the poem so well, and you know, it's a quick 20 minutes or whatever it is, or in it's pretty underrated.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's for sure. Because I mean, anytime people think of Rankin Bass, they think of the stop motion stuff anyway. I mean, with the exception of Frosty, but
right.
I was always a fan of the stop motion ones as well. But this one just always stuck out to me a little more.
Yeah, it's you know, there's something about that, and Rankin Bass did it. You know, they're known for the stop motion, but they did so much animation. I mean, they were part of Thundercats, you know.
Oh yeah,
and doing that stuff. So I didn't realize how hard it was going to be for me to talk and draw at the same time.
I think the same thing, because when I was doing my live drawing, so I guess I could talk a little bit about that while I'm drawing here. So you were mentioning before about the advent calendar. So you and me have been talking the last couple of years. Hey, which advent calendar did you get? What did you get? And any of the ones that I've gotten, what I did during the month, everything that I opened up for that door, I would draw a picture of that day, just to kind of combine the physical, thing that I got with a little bit of art. And I mean, that's kind of one of the ways that I bring like Christmas into most of my art. Like in 2022, I kind of set a goal for myself to draw a Christmas drawing every day for the whole year. So I had 365 pieces by the end of the year. And on those, that was when I would go live and do that. I think it was on Wednesdays. I would do that live just to, keep myself trained and still do it. And then once we were in December of that year, that's when I did the advent calendar pieces, and I was working on those.
Yeah. Yeah. You did that. Last year you did the Funko Disney one, and that turned out really nice with the, drawing the pieces. In fact, I think I put the Tigger up for people that.
Yep. Yes, I did see that one on the post.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm behind this year because I did not get a calendar yet, and I'm kind of shaking in my boots a little bit here because I think I should have had one by now.
Well, to be honest with you, whoever does advent calendars out there, do better. There are not that many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one I was eyeing up this year was the Christmas Vacation one, but as much as I love A Christmas Story, I was kind of let down by that one a little bit just because of the multiple piees for one day. And I see that set up in this one as well. So I didn't pick it up.
Yeah. Yeah. Just draw whatever you like. Just draw whatever you like, as long as it's Christmas themed. That would work perfectly well. So whatever you like.
Again, a perfect project for an audio podcast if you're
Yes.
listening.
Yeah. For those listening just to the audio, I'm so glad you are, but jump over to YouTube and take a look to see all our wonderful art. But yeah, that I thought about that Christmas Vacation, and after that really disappointing Christmas Story one, I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, just because you've seen some of the pieces on that, so you know what I'm talking about. There are a couple of them that are okay. This is a 3-piece just to finish one item out of this advent calendar. I don't want to spoil it for anybody in case they picked it up. That's why I'm not being specific with it.
Right, and I was just like, there's just so much more you guys could do, and I don't know if it's a licensing thing or maybe advent calendars aren't that thing to do, but it seems like Lego doesn't have a problem selling advent.
No. Yep. I contemplate the Lego ones too. I've done those in the past, like when my older son was little. We've done the Lego one, the Lego City one, which is neat, but I don't know about drawing a Lego, every day.
Yeah. Well, somebody asked me about doing them, and I was kind of like, for one, it's hard for me to open that little box and pull the stuff out, and I struggle with it. It's become a joke. and then it's like, also it's like, then nobody wants to sit there and watch me struggle to put a Lego together without any directions, so.
Yep. And then you also don't want to sit there and pre-open anything, because then it kind of loses the authenticity of it, if you will.
Right. You don't want to do that, because then you have to act surprised, and I have a feeling people could see through that pretty easy.
Yep. Oh, wait, why was that box taped up? That lid looked taped.
Yeah. So, but you just kind of gotta roll with it. But yeah, like I said, what was it, Jack's Pacific, that did the Christmas Story one? It was just kind of disappointing.
Yeah, 3 multiples of the same figure kind of got under my skin. Now, for anyone that's wondering, I'm using Procreate to draw here. I don't know if that's what you end up using, but there's so many times I'll mess up and I just have to roll with it. Like, for instance, I did the sketch layer. So that blue layer that you see there, that's on the bottom. So you could turn that on and off as you're drawing on it. But there's so many times where I forget to add the layer and I'm drawing multiple things on one layer. And then I'm like, well, now this drawing just has to have sketch work in it, because there's no way to get rid of that now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I use Procreate, and it's a wonderful app with a not that great name.
Right.
It's just kind of.
They're supposedly, I don't know if it's out yet though, but they're doing an animation app. I know you could animate in this program, but there is one just dedicated to animation.
Yeah, I saw that. That was something they were working on, and Procreate is on the iPad. It is a paid for app, but I only think it's like $12 or $13. It's not crazy.
Definitely no more than 14.
And it's really cool. And one thing I use it for on my thumbnails for YouTube is I'll take a font and type out what I want to type, and then hand trace it, and that sometimes gives it a little bit more of a not so clean. I mean, it's pretty clean, but it just makes it look a little different, if that makes any sense. But
makes sense to me.
Yeah. And plus, do they have a neon pen? So if you have a font, then you can write it in the neon color, which is better than the neon effect that they have in Canva. So for those that use Canva, do you use anything else besides Procreate?
Really, to draw, unless I'm doing physical media, I'll just draw with Procreate. I still, from time to time, dig out, paper, canvas, paint, and stuff like that. Just because I mean, that's what, there wasn't iPads to draw on when we were growing up,
Right.
So that's the future of it. But I still take out the pen and paper.
Do you use a Paperlike on your iPad?
I do have that. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes a big difference.
Yeah. And then the iPencil or the Apple Pencil, I use that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the screen cover on the iPad, that makes it the texture of paper while you're drawing on
Yeah.
it.
And the
It's
sound. You get that nice
yep. Yeah, that
sound.
nice scribbly sound.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but
Yeah, it's kind of fun that you bring a little bit of high tech into like, something so old, like an old form of any, artwork.
yeah. It's like people like, I love drawing, but where's the scratchy pencil sound,
Yep.
So it's kind of like, I guess with with the electric cars, they got to add the engine noise,
Oh yeah.
you know.
You hear a little car coming up, you're like, all right, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. So, but
Yeah, there's so many things. Like I said, I use Procreate a lot, and I there's so much about it I don't know. Like
yeah.
you could watch YouTube videos on it until your face turns blue. There's just
Oh
so much
yeah.
to learn on it, and
Yeah. When I first got it, there was like a lady that has a YouTube video that's like 100 things about Procreate that you didn't know in 20 minutes or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like,
yep.
holy cow, so, but, hey, Jessica, welcome. Hey, we're drawing together. If you want to grab pencil and paper or whatever you like to draw on and draw a Christmas picture, we're here with Charlie, and he's drawing one of the mice from Rankin Bass's 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. So,
And that's the other thing too that you said, which I hope people do. If you draw something, share it, because like I said at the top, a lot of people aren't into what they're drawing, but trust me, it's good. It's creative. It's a good way to, let out some of your creative juices. And
yeah. Yeah, Dagan just jumped in the chat. Hello, sir. How are you? From BGG Grooming and Reviews. So, Dagan, we're drawing. If you want to grab a pencil and paper and draw something Christmas with us, we'd love to see it. So, it's just I think it's kind of like one of those things. Everybody in high school like grab the back of your notebook and drew stuff.
yeah, I'm sure some of the stuff you wouldn't want to see on there, but it
Yeah,
it ends up on there.
yeah. Well, like my kids don't have notebooks anymore, because everything's on like Chromebooks or whatever. It's
Oh
like
yeah.
they kind of miss that, drawing stuff or,
Yep, making something yours that, it sticks out from everyone else's.
yeah,
Everyone has the same laptop, and you can't put stickers on those.
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's just one
and
of
the way to
those.
really stand out.
Uh-huh. But, yeah, that's fantastic. So cool.
Again, I know in the movie he doesn't have a chewed up ear, but I have to again
Yeah.
make something your own. You
Yeah.
see the same character, you could make it your own, and then
Yeah.
I usually will just do like a shadow layer, highlights, just to give it a little more realistic. Like if you put a little shadow,
Oh
it's
yeah.
probably a little too dark, but
Yeah. Yeah. I noticed that. I got to where I was drawing some squishmallows. My daughter just loves squishmallows, and I drew a couple squishmallows and put them on T-shirts for her. So she was like the only kid in school with squishmallow T-shirts, and I drew them and I didn't sell them, so it's not a copyright infringement. But when I was putting it together, I noticed if I just put a little round circle oval of gray under them, it just made them pop so much better.
yep.
It's the details like that. And my wife talks about that a lot. Painting, getting the shadings and stuff right. And my youngest daughter, she's 10, and she's kind of intuitive with the shadings, which is kind of cool. So
Yeah, it's definitely something like if you could get like the shading and the highlights on something, it just obviously makes it look that much more realistic, and
yeah, yeah. This is real Procreate Insider. Do you have any pens you use, or you just use the ones that came preloaded?
I do have quite a few brushes, and there's actually like some holiday brushes I have. If I bring it up here, which they basically just act like stamps. So like,
Okay.
well, I'll pick this one. I've used this one in the past. Let me pick green color here. So it's basically like a fur for like a Santa's hat or whatever, but you could also use it if you were doing like a wreath or something like that, just
Okay.
adding different detail to it. But yeah, the holiday brushes like this one. If I were to stamp this, it's just gonna look like you're stamping
okay.
stuff.
Okay. That's pretty
But yeah,
helpful.
I haven't really purchased too many brushes, but there, I mean, you could get a brush for anything, or you could even create your own brushes, which is pretty neat.
Yeah. Yeah. That would. I've seen them on there. I haven't used nearly all of them because I just don't know what I'm doing. One thing
Yeah.
I do like about it is when you pick something like a watercolor or something, it acts like that. You know,
Yep.
it's
Yeah,
not
either
a,
it'll blend, the colors will blend.
yeah,
Like every brush is it's different. I mean, it's
yeah. And you can even take your finger and smudge.
yep.
And it's wild what technology can do for art and things. And, you know, the great thing about doing stuff like this, you know, creativity is um, such a stress relief for people. Um, even if you're not, even if you don't feel you're that great, just putting your mind to something like drawing a picture or, you know, trying to do the best you can with something, especially around, you know, holidays when stress really amps up, having
Oh
an
yeah.
outlet, whether it's even something like a puzzle or if it's something like drawing a picture or sewing or, you know, needlepoint or whatever, it just something about the process that goes on in your mind is a big stress relief that a lot of people, you know, can use around the holiday season. And
Yep. And that's the thing too. Like, you know, being artsy doesn't necessarily mean just drawing something. Like I've picked up, I mean, I don't know how manly of this is to say, but I've picked up like knitting and crocheting. Like I
yeah,
could do that. Like I've done that in the past, and I'll incorporate Christmas stuff into that. So that's actually what I was doing this year. I obviously I didn't want to do a crochet project every day of the year. That would drive me insane. So I'm
right.
just sticking to one a month for now, and I've kept up with it. So I have, you know, 9 so far this year. But
Yeah.
I mean,
See,
there's so many different forms of expression with art. You know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. See, I wouldn't worry about the crocheting because that was something at the end of last year and beginning of this year that I was really wanting to do
Hmm.
is like do one crochet project because I've never done it before.
Yeah.
I failed miserably and I don't think I'll be able to redeem myself this year.
Yeah.
Um, because you know time and stuff, but it's yeah that for some reason that just really appeals to me, you know, because it's kind of like to me it looks like you're just wadding up a bunch of yarn with some big
Yep.
long
And then
needle
you get
things.
a result when you're all finished.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh.
I don't know if the thing that I'm working on here, I did one before just to test it out because I didn't know time constraints here, but
Uh-huh.
I was trying to work on something where I know you do a lot of woodwork with ornaments and stuff like that. So
Uh-huh.
this is very similar to like something that you would make with that, with the different layers
Uh-huh.
on it. I don't know if you've ever messed around with that on Procreate, as far as like doing paper cutout style stuff. So it looks um,
Oh, I haven't done that.
all right. So
Okay.
that's kind of what I'm
Uh-huh.
working on here.
Yeah. Dwayne,
But you're
he's
just building different layers.
yeah. Dwayne, he's using Procreate on the iPad. Procreate.
Yeah, sorry if I don't
Yeah.
have a
That's
I
all
don't
right.
have the thing up here to read any messages.
That's all right. So yeah, Deacon, I think you may have mentioned that. I don't remember, but that's super cool. My father-in-law's birthday was Christmas Day as well. It's it's cool, but I imagine having Christmas and your birthday on the same day might be a bummer at the same time. 'Cause my birthday's in July, which is like the perfect time for it. It's like halfway every 6 months, got birthday or Christmas. So
Yeah, one of my friends growing up was a Christmas birthday, so he always celebrated half year just because that way it was a little better for him.
yeah, we had some friends like that that did like in June half year birthday thing, and I guess I get it, but I don't know. They were a little eccentric, if you will. so, so, oh man,
I could the thing I'm working on here. Like I said, I did one earlier, so I could just show you that if we're going to be running short on time, just because
Oh,
it's a bit of a tedious process to do
yeah.
some of the stuff on here. But
It's all right. We have plenty of time. Yeah, we have plenty of time. Yeah, Ben, July is an excellent month for a birthday. I will agree. And I'm sure Arnie will agree as well. Yeah, I'm gonna try that effect. That's pretty cool.
yeah, because what I'm going to do, well, it'll really pop here when I'm done here. I don't want to spoil it and show you the next one, but let's see if then you mess around. So basically what I did, I made all different layers and you make a little scene out of it.
Uh-huh.
Then I duplicated each layer and made it solid black behind it. So if you look, you'll see like a red layer, and then underneath it's the same thing that's black as you go down the line. But then you could blur, you're gonna blur the black, and it's gonna start to like stand out like 3D. It's gonna oh, hang on. I gotta turn the alpha lock off on it so then it'll start actually popping and becoming 3D.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
And then after I get all the layers done, you could actually move it around to determine where you want your highlight to come in, which is pretty neat.
Oh yeah. That definitely does have a 3D effect to it. That is.
All right, so now if we have that, I could select all the black layers, and then if you move those separate, you'll see how it just throws depth into it, where it looks like you're actually looking down into like a
Right.
cutout, like a cutout card or something like
Yeah.
that. And then what I do, so like we were talking about before, like I like the texture of paper, the look and feel of paper. So
Uh-huh.
I actually took pictures of all different types of paper and you put it as a texture. So I have one of the textures I like is like a cold press paper.
Okay.
So it would look like that. But then if you put that on top of everything, and then you could put that as the multiply, it'll actually burn that through all your whole picture. So now if you look at it, I'll zoom in a little closer here. It actually will look like
like it's almost
actual
like
cold press paper.
Yeah. Yeah, almost kind of like an old school construction paper kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
And let me see. I'm gonna just bring a bunch of stuff. Here's the one that I did before while I was testing stuff out, just to see how it would look. But I took this one another step farther, and I did a highlight layer and moved that one offset. So then if you actually look at, I'll zoom in again, it looks like the edge of paper, like if you were to cut it. So I mean, there's just so many different things you could do with it. Like this is, digital artwork, but it looks like you could be holding this, like,
Right.
it just looks like an actual card or something.
Yeah, that is super cool. And for those just listening, I apologize. This is a very visual oriented show, but you guys got to check out the video on the YouTube channel, because he just created this like a Merry Christmas ornament of a snowman in a evergreen forest, and made it really pop, and it legit looks like a 3D ornament can put made out of paper, and it's quite amazing. And
Well, thanks.
yeah,
And then we can't forget about Albert.
Yeah, I can't forget about Albert from "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." It looks super cool. I just love it.
Thank you.
So I can't believe you don't do this for a living. You should dabble in it. Maybe it's one of those things. It's like, it won't be fun if I'm doing it for work.
You know what? I think I would love it. So if anyone's hiring, let me know. I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. That is very, very cool. Is your coloring book still available on Amazon?
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay.
It's probably not going to show up here on this
Here,
on the camera.
I'll pop you up bigger here. We'll go.
All right, there we go. That'll work.
There you go.
All right, so there we go. It's probably just going to keep
closer
cutting
to Christmas. Coloring book. It's available on Amazon. I'll have the link to that in the show notes in the description, so you guys can can check it out. But yeah, I'm
But yeah,
gonna go back
that's
to
filled with.
Albert here
Oh,
and
there you
let
go.
people
I was
see
gonna
it.
say that's filled with some of my daily Christmas art that I did. There's 33 pictures in there. So again, it's a little bit more the off the wall type of artwork. It's all Christmas related though. But
Yeah. Very, very cool, man. I appreciate you coming on and doing the drawing and
no problem. And
both
I'm
are
hoping we see some from some other people. I hope they
yeah.
post something.
Yeah. We would love to see that. I'll show mine for those in the chat once we finish as a teaser. And but when you get a chance, send me those and I'll post them on the social medias
Okay.
to tomorrow. And before you get out of here, Charlie, we got to talk about the essential Christmas music playlist.
All right. I've been waiting
And
to see them.
yeah, and so we have another group of entries into this playlist. It's available on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube Music. Links in the description. And these are songs that, as I said earlier, I deemed essential for Christmas for various different reasons. And I've talked about that almost at nauseum this season. So Dwayne says he needs a logo for his lights. So
All right. Thank you, Dwayne.
so let's take a
I'll be in
look.
touch.
Let's take a look at this week's entries into the Essential Christmas Music playlist. We have Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree by Brenda Lee, Give Love on Christmas Day by the Jackson 5, If Every Day Was Like Christmas by Elvis, Silent Night, Frank Sinatra, and the Temptations version, Christmas Tonight, Dave Barnes and Hillary Scott, and this word I always say wrong, Melikaliki Maka by Bing Crosby, Little Saint Nick, The Beach Boys, Oh Holy Night by Josh Groban and also Celine Dion's version, Marshmallow World, I know that'll get Ben fired up, from Dean Martin, and Happy Holidays, Andy Williams. So, what do you think of this list, Charlie?
I mean, they're hits. Rocking Around the Christmas Tree. You can't not think of the Home Alone scene when that pops up. You know, you got to see that. I mean, Melikaliki Maka. I love that one. That one every year. I always catch somebody that doesn't know what he's saying. How he's saying it's Hawaiian's way or Hawaii's way of saying Merry Christmas. They always say a wise way. So that's always a good one to catch people on not knowing the words. But Marshmallow World always a favorite of mine.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. That's the thing I've learned. This is our 7th week of our 7th time of releasing a group of songs, and every time it's like, yeah, this is a good list. I don't see anything completely irrational on here. Christmas Tonight by Dave Barnes, Hillary Scott might be one that most people might not be as familiar with on here. In kind of like Raise the Glass that was on one of the earlier weeks from Luke McMaster. Just trust me on this one. It's a wonderful, wonderful song. It wasn't written as this. It was just a song written the Dave Barnes Christmas album from beginning to end is spectacular. So if you're not familiar with that whole album, just go get it because every song on there is wonderful. He does some covers and a couple more originals. But Christmas Tonight is like a married couple's version of Baby It's Cold Outside.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know that one, but
yeah.
And I wonder if it's one where I hear it, I'll be like, okay, I know that one.
You may, because I think it's starting to get more and more radio play, and it's just a fun song. Several years ago, Blake Shelton had the big hit, God Gave Me You. And that song was written by Dave Barnes and he released it. And, he just has this, his style is hard to describe. He's not really a country artist, but he's not really a pop or a rock artist.
Kind of floating around in
between.
It's
kind of just a smooth acoustic music, modern music artist, and just has a real, wonderful voice. And Christmas Tonight is one of my favorite songs off that album. That whole album, like I said, is really, really good. So, and Happy Holidays. That's one that will just make you smile every time you hear it.
Oh yeah.
So, Little Saint Nick, the Beach Boys, they're the Beach Boys. It's their Christmas song that they're known for. Oh Holy Night, which is one of my favorite songs of all time. And my two of my favorite versions are Josh Groban's and Celine Dion. Mariah Carey's about made this list. I could only have 2 artists per song. Mariah Carey's was just a hair away. I just think Josh and Groban and Celine Dion's versions were just a little bit better. Yeah, Holly sums it up pretty good. Dave Barnes is kind of like a modern day Carpenters kind of thing, so that's pretty fair. So,
well, something new to add to my listen to list. So
yeah. But all these songs are already up on the playlist. I actually add them the Tuesday night before we go live. So if anybody wants a sneak peek, just get on the playlists late Tuesday night or sometime during the day on Wednesday and things. But guys, thanks so much for listening to us here on Christmas Clatter. Charlie, where can people find you at to follow you and give you all that social media love?
I will say the easiest place, just go to closertoxmas.com. Everything's on there. Everything, art, podcast, everything.
All right. And all the links to Charlie and Closer to Christmas are in the show notes in the description. So you guys will not be any further than a tap away from him. And thanks so much for listening to us, guys. Don't forget the Christmas puzzle exchange. Sign-ups are going on until the 20th of October. And so if you want to be a part of that, please go sign up. Also remember just the recipe, Christmas Clatter 23 for 30% off an annual plan. And guys, until we meet again, remember, keep Christmas hope alive every day. All right, guys. Thanks for keeping the chat rolling. I'm going to scroll back here and grab a few comments. And Santa Dad's said, "So Charlie, you're open for work." His thoughts are spinning.
I'm always open for work. Yeah. I love doing stuff.
Yeah, Randy's a busy man. He'll find plenty for that to do. Holly's like, that would look cool cut out on a Glowforge. She's into the laser cutting and stuff. So.
That's what I was thinking when I saw some of the ornaments. That's the first thing that popped into my head.
Yeah, absolutely. Earlier we got a love this from Ben and amazing from Holly and a wow from Jessica. They were all, Mikey, that looks amazing.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I wasn't watching any of the chat, so I wasn't ignoring anybody. I just didn't have that window open.
Yeah,
so.
Sometimes I have to tell them. The chat is really wonderful because sometimes I'll have a guest on and I'm like, guys, I can't be involved with the chat till appropriate time, and they'll just keep talking with each other and about it. They're real wonderful just because coloring and art is so therapeutic. Yes, it is. That, it seems like the past several years there's been a real rise in like the adult coloring books, adult as in really fine detail coloring books. And and I know Holly and her sister and stuff were going through a phase of, and our oldest girl, we're going through a phase of doing some of that stuff. So yeah. Oh yeah. Mikey's a solid part of the list. So, yeah. I mean, when you can get a whippity dippity do and a dickory dock in a song, that is expert lyricist right there. So,
yep.
So,
as long as it's that Andrew Dice Clay.
Yeah. Man, you can either direct message me on Instagram or Facebook with it, or you can email it to me at todd@christmasclatter.com and KSAC35, just to include your name in there. Something tells me KSAC's probably not your given name. Maybe it is. But yeah, just you can email it to me, todd@christmasclatter.com, or get on Facebook or Instagram, Christmas Clatter, and just direct message me there. And then I'll get those up, and that goes for anybody. And to reveal what I drew, which is not as highly detailed or nearly as great as Charlie did, I drew a Buddy the Elf.
Oh, buddy.
so
I like it.
So that's what I worked on that kept distracting me. So, oh, Ken.
So now,
I'm sorry, Ken. I didn't recognize your picture there. I'm sorry. So, yep, that's what I drew. That took me so long to do. So, and I use Procreate as well and some fancy brushes and stuff. And I just didn't want to outshine Charlie as my guest. So.
No, you know what you have to do with that? Now you got to shrink that down and multiply it on that page so it's a big wallpaper background. That'd be perfect. Different rotations, get some wrapping paper printed out, and you're good to go.
Hey man, I like the way you think. You just made me feel better about my Buddy the Elf. You know, I was thinking about that today. It's like, what am I going to draw? And I was like, I'll draw Buddy the Elf. He seems like you can simplify his look enough to where I can make it look like something. So, yeah. So, but does anybody in the chat have any questions for Charlie about art or Christmas or anything? So, my best cheerleader there, my wife. So, thanks, babe. But if anybody has any questions, just let us know. We'll hang out here just a few more minutes and things. And please send your artwork. I don't care what it looks like. Just send it. Just having fun. If you don't want your name attached,
send it anonymous. Exactly.
Yeah. If you don't want your name attached, just tell me. Don't put my name on it. And
or put your kid's name on it.
Yeah. And I'll and I won't put your name, but I will sell your name to people that want to know. So, but yeah, we'll look forward to those, and I'll make sure that that Charlie's tagged in those posts so we can collect them up and see and things. But well, Charlie, again, thank you so much for finally coming in and being a part of Christmas Clatter. I can't believe it took this long.
I know. It was a long time coming. I'm glad we got it checked off of the list.
Yeah. And all right. He said he sent it on Facebook. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. Maybe we could show everybody real fast. Ken. And I got Holly's here too. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Nobody wants to see my Facebook Marketplace. Oh, that's pretty great. I'll make sure this gets on social media. He did it in crayon. I don't know if you guys can see.
That's good. See, now that rings like a Fred Flintstone to me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That looks like Fred Flintstone. That's wonderful, Ken. That's wonderful. So, yeah, really cool. And my wife drew me. So,
new profile picture. There you
go. There we go. So, yeah, and that's really great, babe. And so, guys, thanks again for being part of Christmas Clatter. And just remember, if the holidays get you a little bit more stressed than normal, just grab a pencil and a paper and start doodling, or grab something and create. It doesn't matter. Just basically, you got to change the way you're thinking, and that's what being creative does. It takes you out of one mindset and it kind of fires your brain off into a different way. And again, till I see you guys next week, keep Christmas hope alive every day.